It's tourney time, everybody.
It is. That's crazy. It's
It's
wild how fast that happens.
we're finally here. We're starting to record the 18th episode of Hudson Homers for the year, which far surpassed what we did last year. If anyone listened last year, remember that. Um, we don't want to talk, I don't think, too much about the games of the weekend, but I'm pumped for the Sun Belt tournament. We're gonna have Coach Finwood on here in a few minutes, live from the bus leaving Auburn. But CB, how was your weekend over at good old War Memorial?
Our starting pitching was outstanding, and we had some really great defense. And yep, I had a good time yesterday. I went and saw Brock Gagliardi. He's coaching the 13U travel ball team for the Drillers, so that was fun. Go to see him. Take some pictures with his teams. That was cool.
Nice.
Yeah, the results were not ideal. Yeah, it was. Results weren't great, but also other people helped us out, and we ended up in sixth place anyway, and have to get to avoid the play-in tournament, which I think is huge. I think that was the only shot we have at doing anything, is not having to drain ourselves on Tuesday.
It's the goal we talked about all season long. Just get to the top six and then go see what happens in the tournament, because weird stuff happens in the tournament. And speaking of, I see Coach Finwood is back with us. He is on the bus. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Coach Finwood, how's it going?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey, Finny.
I tried to get you on the earbuds, but that did not work, so I got you on the speakerphone. So we are doing this live.
Nice.
Let's
nice.
go.
Let the guys in the back know. I'm sure we'll get some interesting chirps from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're downstairs, so it's just the coaches and staff here. So,
nice.
Whatever you do, don't rag on any coaches.
Well, Paul
That Ryan Moore.
I'm used to it.
That Ryan Moore, he's too nice. He's too handsome. He's too nice. Can't stand him.
Well, Coach Finwood, obviously we didn't have you on last week. We went live on Sunday, really the last couple innings of the JMU game because of my dumb work travel. But we're pretty pumped going into this weekend. We get the top 6 seed. Kind of had some good things happen for us, but were you all kind of on pins and needles sweating out the other results there after the Coastal game?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we were all, fans and watching the other games. We saw JMU, beat Texas State first, so that was what we needed to happen. And then simultaneously, Marshall was getting ready to win in extra innings, and then Louisiana hung 7 runs on Arkansas State to erase a 3-0 deficit, and jumped up in control of that game. So at that point, that was the one we needed to happen to stay out of any tiebreakers. And when they won, it was good because we knew we were going to be a 6th seed, and like you said, staying out of that play-in round, which we've been in the last 2 years, is big.
Yeah, I know at one point there was a scenario where I think there could have been 4 or 5 teams tied with a 15-15 record. I didn't even start going to look at tiebreakers. I was like, there's no way it's gonna land like this. But I don't know how those would have shaken out, but I'm glad that we end up with the 6th seed. We've got Troy bright and early Wednesday, 9 a.m. Central Time. Little coffee game.
Yeah, the early morning game, which if you win it is awesome. If you lose it, you got to do it all over again. But if you win it, it's really nice. So, that's the plan, is go ahead and win it and get the guys ready. We had a good workout, just finished up a good workout and got some dinner in Auburn. They're so gracious to us and allow us to work out there when we're heading down to the tournament. And it's just a neat time. And they're, of course, all excited because, they finished 6th in the SEC and get a first-round bye in their tournament as well. And they're up to number 2 RPI in the country right now. So they're having a fantastic year.
Wow, that is wild. And we've got a win over them. So that helps us a little bit. I know that our real path here, though, is winning that Sun Belt tournament and getting through there. Face the tough team over the weekend with Coastal. I mean, there's a reason why they're the top seed, whether we like them or not. I know CB is not a big fan. But tell us a little bit about the weekend, and then we can end it. We've got some awesome graduation photos from the field, too.
Yeah, the graduation, the senior day was really nice. I think it's a little misleading, especially how the weekend played out. I mean, we had to bump some guys up and throw them on shorter rest and then also limit their pitches. Our top 3 or 4 guys pitched really well against them. Dylan and Ben in particular on Friday carved them up pretty good, and so did Blake. But just where we were, we weren't. It wasn't a normal scenario, or I think we win at least one of those games, and so it is what it is. We had to short the guys a little bit so we could be ready for next week, this week coming up, and sometimes that's how it goes. Just with how we ran our pitching all year, maybe not throwing our better of the 3 on Saturday and Sunday. Just had to change last weekend to get ready for the tournament, and it's just the difference between what you do in the whole season and then tournament play. So it is what it is. They have a very good team. Their pitching's outstanding, and we made a few too many mistakes, I think, just with free bases and things of that nature. And we didn't hit enough either. So we got to pick that up, and hopefully we will this week.
Yeah, it was really encouraging that when it came down to our best pitchers in the game, we were beating them pretty much every time.
Yeah.
So that was great. And they had some good arm. That kid Fluky on Friday, he's about as good as I've seen in a few years. He's really good.
Yeah, he is. And, Morrison ended up being the pitcher of the year in the league. Their game 2 guy. I was 10-0 this year. And, so they, and Eichhoff's good. They're game 3 starter. Yeah. So, and then their bullpen's really good. I mean, they're second in the country in pitching for a reason. So, they're a good team, and they play baseball well. They take advantage of your mistakes. And, you have to limit those to beat a team like that.
Absolutely. Now, it seems like from the way you pitched the previous weekend, it seems like Dylan is going to be that Wednesday morning starter.
Yes. Yeah, he will be. Yeah, he'll go Wednesday, and Blake will start Thursday. So I'm not sure what we'll do the rest of the way. That'll just depend what we need to do. You very much with especially with our pitching depth, we got to stay in that winner's bracket really to have a shot to do it. So got to put all your eggs in the game 1 basket, and then put the rest of them in the game 2 basket because you get a day off after that.
So that would probably mean that then Ben Moore and Ethan Hubble are both available in those 2 games.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they will be. Yep.
I love it. Throw your best. Like you said, that winning 2 or getting the day off would be huge. That seems like one of our really path to victory that would work for us.
Yeah, that's usually how it works. I mean, it's hard to, go through that loser's bracket and find your way into that final. It's tough. You just got to end up having to play too many games in a row, and it can catch up to you, and especially in the bullpen.
Yeah, it'd be ideal if we hung up some crooked numbers in the first couple innings and you got to cruise a little bit there through the end of that first game. But I know Troy's they're going to be tough. They were tough when they came to Harbor Park, but we were right there with them. I don't feel like that was a mismatched series at all.
No, we didn't play well enough on Friday, and then we played a pretty good ball game on Saturday and just got beat, and then we beat them up pretty good on Sunday. So, yeah, 2 of the 3 games, we played well enough to win. And, they're a very left-handed team, so that's the strength of our guys we're going to throw at them. So hopefully that'll work out in our favor.
Absolutely. Well, I know Saturday was a big day for a lot of the guys that were graduating. CB, as usual, get some awesome shots here. This might be one of my favorite pictures of the season, honestly, here with all the guys lining up down the third base line there with their jerseys and frames and parents and all that good stuff. Talk us a little bit through that senior day ceremony, because you had quite a few of them walking.
Well, it's always, cathartic, I think is a good word. Senior days, guys, you've known these guys a lot of times for, 5, 6, 7 years, either going back to when you recruited them. And they're walking across as graduates, most of them, from the day before, and guys you've been through a lot with, good of the couple things that we did this year, even though it wasn't on our campus, which made it seem a little strange to me. The marketing department, I think, did a really good job with the video on Friday of the graduates with their parents telling them how proud they were, and then the senior day, the guys kind of signing off. They're writing their signatures on that see-through board where you could see them. That was really neat.
Yeah, Ryan Parnica, who's a former ODU soccer player, who's become the the marketing and social media person. She's done a phenomenal job with a lot of the sports, and yeah, that was really cool. I was telling them it's because they made it look like they were signing their name, but it was the right direction for us to view. And I said it was upsetting to me how long it took me to realize they just had to flip the video to make it look that way. I was like, how'd they get them to sign like that? I felt kind of dumb.
Yeah, that was a neat touch. I had never seen that done anywhere before. I'm sure it was, but for all of us, we didn't know it was coming. Either one of those. So it was neat to be surprised like that. I thought it was really cool and really neat for the families. It was a good touch for sure.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the best things that we did. Adding the graduation walk was just I can't remember how many years it's been since you've done. It's been a while since you started doing that, and it's just so great because we are almost always off on the road when that happens. So it's really good for the players and their families to get to experience that.
Yeah, we've been doing this since we got here, I think, and the first time I ever saw that was when I was at Western Kentucky, and we were down playing Louisiana Lafayette, and they had their seniors come out and they explained, how they missed graduation because they're off, representing the university, and so they had them graduate on the field like that, and I was like, that's a really neat thing to honor that hard work, and let them have that experience on the baseball field in their caps and gowns over their uniform. And those pictures are lifetime memories, I think, certainly for kids, but maybe even more so for their parents and grandparents. And I mean, a lot of money, a lot of effort goes into that degree, besides just the student athletes and the people that are paying the bills. They certainly like to see that.
Yeah, I really love the robe over the uniform. Like there was a picture of Jack Slater where he's walking, and you see his catcher shin guards coming. I didn't think I sent it to you, Gary, but it's like there's one with Ron with the cleats. I mean, it's like it's what it is. I mean, they're student athletes, and so you get the mix of them both together. It's really neat.
Yeah, it is. It's a neat day, and I'm glad that we were able to do that. I appreciate Ron Moses coming out and conferring the guys' degrees to them. A lot of times we'll have another professor as well come out when it's on campus. But everything's a little different this year, and that was no exception, but it was still a very nice event.
Yeah, it looked awesome. I know I got a bunch of videos and pictures and stuff from parents and different people. I couldn't be there. It was sad to miss that one, especially with Eddie and Luke and all those guys that I've become close to over the last couple of years. But glad I get to see them here in Montgomery. I don't know. Outside of the baseball, what are you most looking forward to being back down in Montgomery?
Well, the area we're in, with the hotel being right across the street from the ballpark, is just fantastic. Like the logistics, I think for the players, the coaches, the families, couldn't be any better. There's a lot of really good restaurants close by. The hotel's fantastic. The Renaissance that we stay in. There's one of our favorite coffee shops right around the corner, which is always big for our staff. And just a neat historic area. You can walk down to the Alabama River and see they got a memorial down there where the slave trade ships used to be. They've got a Rosa Parks memorial, in there, and a lot of the things that happened with monuments. So see some of the history and cross to the park and watch games when your team's not playing, and we'll have the luxury of doing that. Tomorrow after practice, watch some other people sweat it out on playing day instead of us.
Yeah, I'll definitely be taking it in. I think I'm staying in the same hotel, so I'll be on fire alarm duty, making sure no one goes and pulls that fire alarm like 4:00 in the morning and messes up your 9 a.m. start time.
Yeah,
I'm not
Shoot,
saying
they might be the
consider
only ones.
it,
They might be the only ones that are okay at 4 a.m. Be like, all right, let's just get up and be up.
yes, there'll be a line out the door from your coffee shop.
We'll be getting up not too long after that on Wednesday, so get up and get it going.
Well, we're excited for it. I know it'll be an early morning. It'll be probably a lot of people using 2 screens at work to keep an eye on us. It'll be 10 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central, taking on Troy. All the games for the tournament are on ESPN Plus. But I imagine there's going to be a good number of people, of ODU fans, at least parents, coming down for this one, especially since we're bypassing that single elimination.
Well, we appreciate everybody's support. Yeah, the more people that can get down, the better. And it's a neat ballpark for a conference tournament, and we're hoping to play some good baseball down here and get that first win on Wednesday morning.
Yeah. That sounds good, Coach Finney. Drive safe the rest of the way there to Montgomery. Get settled in, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow.
All right, guys.
And when you guys go 2-0, we'll do a little special quick podcast and talk about what's coming up on the off day.
Perfect. I love it. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right. Good luck, Finn. Be safe. Tell John Keane stop being so ruggedly good looking and so cool. He makes me upset with how neat he is. It's all right.
I'll tell him. Feel free.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right,
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, buddy. There we go. Good. Yeah. There he was just telling us they just finished working out at Auburn and had dinner with Carl Nunemaker and his family, which is great. Again, it's outstanding that they have, he just such a good relationship and such an amazing place to go work out. I mean, again, let me tell you, having been there, like that, it's crazy. And then for them to tell me like, oh, this is like middle of the pack in the SEC. It's like, that's not real. That can't be a thing. They're playing Major League Stadiums then. That can't be true.
Yeah, that is insane. But it's nice to kind of get to break up a little bit of that drive, so that way when they get to Montgomery, they can just go relax. I
think they were in Charlotte. Yeah, I think they were in Charlotte last night, and then went to Auburn today. And yeah, I'll be honest, I did not look, but I know it's pretty short.
Yeah, it's fairly quick, but it sounds like the guys got some food, and then they'll be settled into Montgomery here pretty soon. I wonder if they're going to have the early morning wake up call tomorrow, just as a drill to get that body ready. Because if he's talking a 5 a.m. wake up call, that's about what you need though for a 9 a.m. start time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm betting not. That's where the guys would be like, Coach, you tell us all the time, sleep is important, so let us sleep today. I still think it's funny finding out that I think it was Kyle Edwards and Efren Morales. They roomed together on the road, and it was a perfect match because all they like doing when they're not at the field is sleeping. Apparently, they go to the field, they do whatever they got to do, and they go back to them, and they both take naps and just sleep all day. I think that's adorable. You couldn't be better.
Yeah, so they're definitely going to have time for that because looking just how things lay out, I mean, obviously 9 a.m. Wednesday to start off the double elimination portion of the tournament. If they lose, they would turn around and play at 9 a.m. Central the next day. But if they win, they don't go until 4 p.m. Central. So they would have a pretty good bit of downtime if they're able to win game one. So it kind of sets up where if you play in the first game, you're going to have more rest than your opponent no matter what. You're just hopeful that is not an elimination game that you are resting up for on Thursday.
Yeah. Excuse me. And the good side is they played Troy. If they win, the possibility of playing Southern Miss, they played them and they've beaten both of them. Now they're both top 25 teams. Weirdly enough, I don't know if we mentioned this, Southern Miss and Troy played this past weekend, and Southern Miss swept them and run ruled them in the middle game. Which is surprising because they're both like around like 18 to 22 or so in the rankings. So that I think a sweep was very unexpected.
Yeah, I think so. I think Troy was hoping to show a little bit more signs of life there, but that's probably not what you want to have going into it, especially when you're in one of the top seeded positions. You
Yeah,
kind of at least want to go one
we
and
know you don't
two.
want to get swept going to the tournament.
No, well, I mean, we lost to the 1 seed, and we had to rearrange our pitching in a way to set ourselves up for the tournament.
Yeah.
Coastal kind of had the luxury to not have to worry about those things necessarily because they're getting into the NCAA tournament. Regardless, they're probably are they going to be a top 8 or they're going to be a top 16 seed? Is probably really
That's they're hoping they could do something here and end up being the super regional host.
Yeah, it is interesting. All season long we did not sweep anyone, we did not get swept, and we ended the last 2 weeks sweeping JMU. But that sweep of JMU is so incredibly important. Or we would be playing on Tuesday. So getting those 3 wins in Harrisonburg, I mean, that's the reason we have hope and we are more positive on today's episode rather than, oh boy, we got to get one out as like an 8 or a 9 seed. That would not be an ideal scenario for us.
Yeah, no, you're right. The difference between playing tomorrow and playing on or today, if you're listening to it on Tuesday and playing on Wednesday morning is huge. And that's and again, it's crazy because a month ago we were like, are we even going to be in the tournament? And then we went into this weekend with a chance to be 4th, which is wild. So these guys have done some stuff. Some other teams, I mean, Marshall has done a lot. Marshall went from kind of dead in the water too to moving up, and they ended up being what, 5th?
They're the 4 seed.
They're the 4 seed. Oh yeah, because Louisiana was going backwards. Yeah, you're right. Okay, here.
Yeah, I mean, we still had an opportunity on Sunday, even after, or I'm sorry, on Saturday after dropping the first 2 games, where if we would have won and Louisiana would have lost, we would have been the 4 seed, despite all of that. That's just how tight the middle of those standings got. I mean, your 4 seed is 16-4. We're the lone 500 team, and then you got 2 teams at 14-6. Like that is a logjam there for those last spots, and we got all the outcomes. Like that's and we got all the outcomes for 2 consecutive weekends, and we're rewarded by it by now being the 6th seed.
Yeah, there was a lot in the middle, but it's funny, like I said, nobody else that was 15-15, but a lot of, I mean, ULM being 8-22 and James Madison 10-20, and then you got Coastal at 26-4 and Southern Miss at 24-6 at the top. So there was a little bit of a, as always happens, there's a little bit of a spread, but there's a little extreme this year with the 26-4 in conference. What they have 7 straight conference sweeps. I mean, that's pretty extreme. I mean, having watched them all weekend, their pitching is great. I don't think their hitting is anything special. I think we've definitely seen better hitting teams. I'll be honest, I thought Marshall was a better hitting team than Coastal by a lot. I love their approach a lot more. But I don't know if you're going to find a better pitching staff than Coastal. You will find better fans. I did not care for the fans. They're between live and social media. They're just not great people. Their people broke our press box up there at War Memorial. They broke a window in the press box. So that's cool. Very. I don't know why they won't embrace the fact that their team is really good at getting hit by a pitch. Like it's super weird how like they get upset like that we're trying to hit like our guys can't throw strikes. Like your team, Coastal. I didn't check today to see if they did finish, but they were going into the last game leading the country in hit by pitches. They're averaging like 2.7 hit by pitches per game. So basically 3 hit by pitches per game. And then they're upset when their guys are getting hit by pitches. Like this is what they do. They crowd. I mean, if you watch the game, they're up on top of the plate. The one guy got hit in the head, I think, twice, but it's like he leans his head out of the plate. Like it's, the umpires let him get away with it. And I don't know why, as a fan, you can't be like, yeah, that's what they do. They approach it. They're like, our guys are dogs. They eat that. Like this is what we do. I don't know why it's so weird. They get so weepy and whiny about it.
Yes, and they did finish the season with 151 hit by a pitch. That is number 1 in the country, 3 ahead of Winthrop. I mean, if you crowd the plate and that's your approach, that's the risk you assume that you're going to get hit by a pitch. It doesn't seem like it's been a concern for them all season long. This has been their approach. They get even tighter on the plate when you bring relievers into the game. So if you notice, like those numbers for hit by pitch spiked a little bit with 1.
Like crazy.
Like our bullpen does not have the best control. That is not a secret. If you've watched one outing of ODU baseball from the bullpen, we don't always have the best control. We have good stuff. We've got some guys that can throw some heat, but perfect location, pinpoint location, you're crowding the plate is just not going to be there. So it's going to happen. And if you're worried about it, back off the plate. But clearly, the players and the coaches are not concerned about that.
Like I said, I'm sure their attitude is like, yeah, we're dogs, is what we do. We eat those. Like they had one guy, I think he had 28 hit by pitch, and the next highest in the league was like 14 or 17. So it's what they do.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of Stephen Myers on their roster.
Yeah,
which, by the way,
Stephen Meyer was yeah. There you go. Sorry.
He set the record for the Troy single season hit by pitch. I think it was like 21 or 22, something like that. So it's a little bit of a down year for Stephen with hit by pitches, but
it's which by the way, our buddy Stephen Meyer, which love the kid. I'm excited for him. I'm really hoping that this season leads to him getting to play pro ball. Troy's a team. I want to beat him tomorrow, but they are a team that has a chance. They're going to go to the regional anyway. But Stephen, if you look at his numbers, that's the difference between what he did this year and last year is the difference between what a not healthy Stephen Meyer looks like and what a healthy Stephen Meyer looks like. He added about 50 points on his batting average. He added like almost 200 points on his OPS. His home runs, I think, were pretty similar, but his RBIs were way up. His double, I think he had almost twice as many doubles as last year. Actually had less steals, but it's probably, again, because he was hitting doubles and getting on. Congrats to him on a great season. And like I said, I'd like to look around sometimes. Like look at Alex Boucher with East Carolina. He had it was shocking how close he had almost an identical season from last year to this year. So again, that's Alex just kind of was who he was, which is fun. Nothing wrong. He's a good ball player. But Stephen clearly was hurt last year. We did not get the best version of him the second half of the year, and we did get the first half. But once he hurt himself, we didn't anymore. So good to him. I'm glad he's in a place where he's been enjoying it and doing well.
Yeah, excited to get to see him play on Wednesday. It's just someone I'm always going to root for, just based on my interactions with him and all that. Still reaches out to me on social media occasionally. Over the weekend with Coastal, it was kind of all the things that snake bit us earlier in the year. A lot of free passes, a lot of hit by a pitch, errors. Kind of underrated that Coastal did some things to draw catcher's interference, which again, totally legal and fine for them to do. It's part of their philosophy.
That's their thing. Yeah.
But that was that's where you saw those blow up innings really just melt down. When you putting up 6 runs, 7 runs in an inning, they're getting free base runners and they're making you pay for those free base runners with big.
And they would score those 6-run innings with like one hit. That was the thing. That was the thing. I came away. That's why I said I'm not very impressed they're hitting because I'm impressed with their approach and their grit. You can't question it. They're tough dudes. They're out there playing grimy baseball, right? They're making sure they get hit. They're doing catch interference. It's like there's some baseball players. But I didn't get a chance to see their hitting much. The kid Bodine is everyone says, I know I've seen him play plenty. I'll watch on their games on TV. The kid, I didn't get a chance to see him hit. He had like one hit all weekend, which is a shame because I'd like to see good ball players play good baseball. And as you said, our bullpen especially did not allow that to happen. It was a tough week for our pitching, which is weird because our starting pitching was so. You want to bring up the players of the week? That's not, since we're kind of talking about our pitching. Because it's worth mentioning, our starters were phenomenal. So this was a fun week because I typically send the stats. I kind of compile them and I send to Gary, and I'm like, I'm probably this guy and this guy. And this week, Gary's like, no, the pitcher of the week is Ethan Hubble. I was like, all right, that's cool by me. Like, very rare time where you like put your like, no, this is the guy. Because I was kind of like, well, we could put all 3 of the guys. You're like, nope, it's Hub. I was like, all right. So Hubble had 2 games this week. He pitched on Thursday and started on Sunday. Combined for 3 2/3 innings, no earned runs, only gave up 1 hit and 1 walk and 7 strikeouts, which is outstanding. He had 2 I think he struck out the 2 batters he faced on Friday and struck out 5 in 3 innings on Sunday. So he was just lights out. And actually, I looked at his last 3 weeks. 4 games, 7 2/3 innings, no runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts, and 7 2/3. So he's on a nice little stretch here the last few weeks. Dylan Brown was phenomenal starting on the game on Thursday. 4 innings, only 1 earned run, no hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Again, as Finney pointed out, they were doing some maneuvering to make sure he'd be rested and ready to go for the game on Wednesday. So, he could have thrown 9 easy, I think, that day. And then Blake Morgan was just doing Blake Morgan stuff on Saturday's game. On Friday's game. 5 innings, no runs, 4 hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Again, probably. Now, I will say, Blake, I think they took him out because it was again, keep him ready. It was hot, and Blake might have been done at 5, actually, despite how well he was pitching, because he just, he was, he's an emotional guy, and it was really hot this weekend. That turf makes it. It was 15 degrees hotter down on the field than it was if you go up in the stands. So it was a rough week. Go for it, Gary. We'll talk about pitching.
I was going to say, and Blake is kind of going on 1 day shorter rest than he's used to, and then he's going to go on 1 day shorter rest than he's used to again. So he's kind of sliding up a little bit. There's no sense in having something happen there, or just him come back out for the 6th inning and have a bad inning, and that's what's going to bring in his mind. So I whether it was weather related or not, like, I know that we could have won one of those games and locked up top 6, but our odds to stay in the top 6 are still pretty good. And what's the point of getting top 6 if you blow your top arms the weekend before?
Hey,
it's not going to get you in.
He didn't have to come out for the 6th inning for us to have a bad 6th inning.
That's also very true.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, but with Ethan, I think the big thing is his approach when he got on the mound this weekend with those guys crowding the plate was he was pitching like they weren't there. Like 7 of his 11 outs that he recorded over the weekend were strikeouts. And that's big because we're thinking, okay, yes, that's going to be really important in the tournament. But we're also thinking next year. We know we're going to lose pretty much this entire starting rotation next year. I think that's foregone conclusion. Who's going to be the one that steps up and carries over? And Ethan Hubble, the last couple of weeks, including against the best competition we have faced in a while, he shut Coastal Carolina down. And that was really important. And I just want to shout him out for that. His approach, and 7 of your 11 outs coming by strikeouts, pretty nasty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty great to see. He definitely he was a guy in the fall, in the early spring. They were having him throw some starter innings. He was definitely an option, and just decided he'd probably be a little bit better in the bullpen, given some length as a swingman kind of guy. But you're right. He has definitely been looking like a guy like, okay, this is a dude we can build with. This is somebody we can probably pencil in rotation for next year, which is great. Like I said, we're going to need it. It's going to be somebody's going to have to step up, or we're going to have to get some solid transfers. Who knows? Like I said, we'll probably have an episode later in the summer. We'll probably have Marin on and maybe talk about some of those things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, I want to point out, and this is cool. I've been kind of saving this info because I wanted it to happen first. Blake Morgan tied the school record with his 52nd career start. So that was Steve Lyon from 1990 to 1992, who ended up being a 4th round pick by the Mets. Played about, I think, 4 or 5 years minor league ball. But he over those 3 seasons had 52 starts. And so Blake took him 4 years, which nothing wrong with that. They started way more games back then. That you got to think about. That was 35 years ago. It was just a whole different time. College baseball. Yeah, I know. Trust me, as I did the math, it hurt my soul because I was like, is it 40? It's not quite 40, but it might as well be. But Blake is, and so when it comes around to Wednesday, because we know we're going to play 2 games, because that's the first thing when I told him after the game, that's the first thing he said. So I'm going to break it. It's like, there you go, Blake. That's why he's a dog, right? That's why Blake's a dude, because his first thought wasn't like, oh, that's cool. His first thought was like, all right, so I'll be the champ. Got you. So I got a nice little graphic ready for Blake when he sets that record on Wednesday. So then to look at our hitters, slim pickings for our hitters. I'm gonna be honest, we did not have a lot of hits. I think we had 19 hits in 3 games. Like we really didn't do a ton offensively. But again, Maverick Stallings continues to be phenomenal. He went 3 for 11 for the week. So again, not the best average, but all 3 hits were extra bases. Had a double, 2 homers, and 4 RBIs. And the only other player who really did a lot of the plate was Zach Late, who was 3 for 10 with a double and 3 RBIs. But to pick up on Maverick, I know we talked before about Maverick and his hot stretch since April 15th. That seems to be his day. So to reiterate, his first 23 games of the year prior to April 15th, Maverick had 1 double, 1 homer, and 2 RBIs in 23 games. He was hitting 193 with a 525 OPS. His last 16 games, he has 6 doubles, 7 homers, 20 RBIs. In that stretch, he's hit 338 with 1164 OPS. Good.
Nasty.
Good.
Nasty.
It is. So we need to get him like some kind of heated vest to wear in games. It's hotter. I said I'm glad he's here. I love Maverick. I'm a big fan of watching him play. I think if he'd have stayed in Florida and played, he'd be an All-American for the last couple of years, or been drafted and be in AA now.
Yeah, there, like Arizona State, somewhere where it's going to be hot early in the season. I mean, temperature goes up, Maverick Stallings goes off. It's 2 years in a row, and it's kind of unbelievable just to watch that transformation just boop, click right over and just start hitting again.
It was really wild when, a lot of times when you dig into stats, you kind of have like a hypothesis, an idea. You're like, I think this, so let me look at the stats and see. And sometimes you look at the stats, you're like, that's not what happened at all. And so you just kind of junk it. But for him, it was like, oh no, there's a very specific time. Like it was like literally, I think last year was April 15th. This year was the 16th because we didn't have a game on the 15th. It was like from that exact time. Boom. So it's wild when something is that statistically accurate. I think he had 1 week in the stretch that wasn't like amazing. It was just okay. The rest of the weeks has been like, what are you doing? This kid's out of his mind. And you see, you saw that picture we had up there. He's hitting them so far, you can just watch them. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, just sitting back and enjoying them. But in case anyone's wondering, it's going to be a 79 at first pitch in Montgomery on Wednesday, and it's going to heat up to a nice, comfortable 87 degrees. So another perk of playing in the morning, you're not playing in the heat of the day, and that'll come in handy if we do win a couple games and get moving in this thing. That's one less day in the heat, one less couple hours on your feet. You get to go relax. But man, Mav just coming through and in the clutch. I mean, he hit a big home run for us last year in the play-in game to make sure we won that. I just hope that continues going and get these other guys just back on the track they had really been on the last 3 or 4 weeks. But a Coastal pitching will shut you down. That is for sure.
Yeah, well, but fortunately we're not playing Coastal. If we play Coastal, it'll be in the championship, right? So that'll be worry about that problem when we get to it. They'll at that point, maybe be as depleted as we would be. We get to start out with Troy, who again we played and we beat. We might get to play Southern Miss if we win. Who we played and we beat. I already forget who we don't even know who the other ones would be. But we've seen that, and right this weekend was kind of proof of concept that when we have our best pitching, we can run with anybody. This is Coastal is the number 8 team in the country right now. I think that might be a little bit paper tiger. I was actually looking at the RPI just stuff because I was a little interested because again Coastal fans were so annoying. I wanted to knock them down any way I could. But I noticed they call it the quadrant 1 wins, which are the wins against the best teams. They were 4-6 against quadrant 1. Well, ODU was 4-14. So we had just as many wins. We just happened to play a lot more because we were playing weekend series and all, So and unlike them, we didn't get to duck Southern Miss and Louisiana. We were playing real teams. So I thought it was interesting that number 8 team in the country had just as many wins against the best teams. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens and Southern Miss again got lucky. They're on the side that Coastal got lucky. They're on the side that doesn't have Southern Miss and doesn't have Troy. So they may even have a less difficult path to the championship game. Which again, that's what you won all the games, you deserve it. That's how it should work.
Yeah, you go 26-4 in the Sun Belt, which I believe we are the 4th highest rated conference in all of college baseball. So yeah, we finished 6th, but finished 6th in the 4th best conference. So it's not, Conference USA is still, I think, on the come up for baseball, but some of the other conferences and things we could have been in, you look at the A10, the CAA, they're not even on the graph.
Trash. No, what it really shows is if a few things had gone our way, if we'd have been a little bit more focused in a few moments, because there were plenty. I mean, you could probably pull out 10 games this year that if we do a couple of different things, we win. And then all of a sudden we're talking about having like 31 wins with this schedule we had. We'd be up there in the top, 3 or 4 in this conference, and we'd be talking about going to regional, regardless of what happened this week.
At a very minimum, we'd be Troy, who's top 25. They're going to go to a regional no matter what. I think it's really, can someone outside the top 3 go and win the Sun Belt tournament and make us a 4-bid league? Like that's the only deciding factor. Like, is Sun Belt going to get 3 teams or going to get 4 teams? And then when we're definitely one of those teams that, you don't particularly want to face us because we're in that desperation mode that we have to go win the tournament, do it. Coastal's not in that boat. Southern Miss isn't in that boat. Troy's not in that boat. I don't think they can really do much to change their status. Except maybe Coastal can get in that top 8 and be a national seed if they win the whole thing. But you may see teams take different strategies than what we are taking in this tournament because they are already thinking ahead to the next weekend of hosting the regional or whatever it may be. When we're like, we're going to scratch and claw and we're going to be the 4 seed in Spokane, Washington, or somewhere far, far away. But we don't care. Like, get us in there and let us take our hacks and see what happens. So it'll be interesting. I'm sure it'll be a fun vibe down there, man. I'm kind of pumped to get down there and just absorb it and go to the games on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm excited for you, and I think it's cool. I hopefully the only thing that would prevent me from going to like every single game is something that would just be the heat. I was looking at it's going to be like about 90 every day, but if you're taking care of yourself, if you I don't know the ballpark, but if you take care of yourself, find some shade, you could probably. I mean, if you're able to go to all the games, you can. Which again, you think you are. You have nothing else to do. You're down there for that. Yeah, you could have. I know I typically watch as many games as I possibly can, and so because it's playoff baseball, doesn't matter if it's college, big leagues, whatever. Playoff baseball is super fun, and college baseball is ridiculously great. And so when it actually matters for guys, man, it's something else.
And you're guaranteed that some hitter is going to come out of nowhere on some team and go on just like a crazy 8 for 11 run or something. And some pitcher,
Scotty Young.
Yeah, it'd be great if it was Scotty Young. Then I would love to see Ethan Hubble come in for potentially like a game 3 and just go no hit somebody. Like stuff like that happens in the Sun Belt tournament because that talent just really rises to the top in those big moments. And it could be people you don't even think about. I mean, you look at some of the play-in games that are going on with got App State as the 10 playing Texas State, Georgia Southern playing Arkansas State. I mean, we know App State and Georgia Southern are good teams, and Texas State, they were basically tied with us until disaster struck this last weekend.
Yeah, I was going to say App State was really, really good. Georgia Southern was really, really good. You're talking about the 9 and 10 teams. Like we didn't get to see Arkansas State and Texas State, but I guarantee you I'd be saying here, but like they're really, really good. I mean, the whole conference, I didn't see. I mean, JMU didn't put up much of a fight. I think that's about the only one I could look at and be like, these guys they were having a tough year, and we probably feel about them how like Coastal feels about us after the weekend, even though because Coastal will just ignore how well our starters did. But so if there's one weekend out of 10 where you're like, they weren't as competitive, that's pretty darn great. I mean, it's a conference play is wild. It is so competitive. And that's what makes the conference. I think there goes the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing went that time.
It was bad enough that time I saw. But the conference play is just so that's what makes the tournament so fun is because the teams are. I mean, you saw the records. I mean, there's a couple outliers at the top, a couple outliers at the bottom. The rest is just a big jumble. Like you said, any given day, if one game had gone different, it'd be all flipped around. And so going down there and seeing that where the talent level is all pretty even, and depending on what day it is and who's facing who, anybody can beat anybody. And so I'm good for you, man. It's gonna be fun.
Georgia State was in the top 2 in the conference standings for the first 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
They did not make the tournament.
Yeah.
That's how tough it is. And we saw they've got one of the best players in the league on their team. So it's wild. But yeah, I just want to see the guys go down there and compete hard. They're going to play tough teams, but we're a tough team too. We're battle tested. We're road tested. Going down there is nothing for them. Maybe it's a little bit more of a factor for some of the other teams. But living in and out of hotels, being on sleeper buses, that's old news for us. I'm just hoping it's not their last bus trip of the year. Hopefully, give me one more.
Yeah,
go win this thing.
Cool. I mean,
get the region.
There's, we've had the talent all year. We just have had very few times where all the talent has been being talented at once.
Now's the time.
Now's the time, and sometimes it's how, and that's what happens when a team goes on a run. I mean, that's the Coastal fans, again, they all love talking about when they won in 2016, which I can't blame them. If we won a national championship, I'd still be talking about it 9 years later. But that wasn't the most talented team. That was just they were a veteran team full of good ball players that played well together, and they got hot at the right time and won the championship because that's what happens in the playoff. You get hot and you're just playing well and feeling good. So, I mean, unfortunately, we're not coming off of a play. We were playing hot, then we ran into a buzzsaw, and now we're coming off a 3-game, but we're also playing a team that just got swept also and coming off a 4-game losing streak. So it's going to be an interesting morning there Wednesday.
Just hit the field and see what happens. I mean, this is what we've talked about trying to do all year. Like the goal was just get in the top 6, see what happens in the tournament. Well, we got the top 6 part down. Now it's see what happens. Roll the dice. I mean, who knows? Dylan Brown maybe goes CG no hitter to open the tournament.
Hey, Dylan Brown is 7 strikeouts away from being the first Monarch to get 100 strikeouts in like 14 years. So I'd like to see him. Frankly, if he gets 108, he ends up being 5th all time for a single season for the team. So I'd like to see that. I don't know how was that 15 strikeouts. Just throw 15 strikeouts, Dylan. You can do it.
I mean, if he gets into 2 games, that's not outside the realm of possibility.
I'm one for 2 games, 1 game. You can do that. 7 innings, 15 Ks. Let's go.
I like that. The pitch count might be a problem, but that's okay. Dylan's just gonna sit back there and chuck it.
Just throw strikes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You got this.
Yes.
All right. By the way, I saw a guy throw an immaculate inning. They say the immaculate inning is if you're 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts. That's not an immaculate inning. Immaculate inning is 3 pitches, 3 outs.
You think so?
That's the best. That's the best. What is the best? The best perfect game you could possibly do would be 27 pitches. There were like little easy ground balls to the first baseman. That would be a perfect game. It would be 27 pitches. Why would I waste? Why throw? I mean, how much more perfect can you be than 1 pitch, 1 out? How excited do you get every time somebody like started an inning 1 pitch, 1 out? You're like, oh man, we're rolling now. Pitch counts would be crazy. Come on, you tell me somebody throws a perfect game with 27 pitches. That's not the best game ever thrown in history. That's a better game than the guy that strikes out 27.
It would be impressive because this never happened. So it would be the first time in 150 plus years of baseball.
Yes.
But I think there's something in a pitcher's mind and competitiveness of I don't want you touching the baseball. And I'm going to throw you 3 pitches. You're not going to touch them, and you're going to strike out.
That's why most pitchers are stupid. Because
that's true.
They're dumb. Because most hitters are stupid, and then pitchers try to outthink them instead of just throwing strikes and getting them out. Because they're like, oh, to make him chase. Like, bro, he's dumb. You're throwing a ball 100 miles an hour at him. It's really hard to hit it anyway. And then you're trying to make him just throw the cheddar down the middle. Make this guy like I don't know if you've ever seen that in the now again this you have to have really good fastball, but they showed in the major leagues the batting average on 100-mile-an-hour fastballs dead center. So dead center. You're talking about major league hitters who can hit 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, right? They can't. The batting average on dead center fastballs is like 0.21 in the big leagues. So big league hitters can't hit heat down the middle. I guarantee you some dude in the Sun Belt can't.
That is the Tampa Bay Rays' entire approach to pitching. It has been for 10 years, and that's why they've been in the postseason with one of the lowest payrolls constantly. They will throw you first pitch, middle fast, or middle down, whatever it is, and then they're going to go and they're going to do it again with the 1 strike count. And then you got to move 2 and batting averages plummet, they'll throw whatever. But that's why you see so many of their guys pitch so well, and you're like, how the hell are we in the 7th inning? This guy's thrown 66 pitches and we got 2 hits. That's
why is Pete Fairbanks dicing me up every night? Well, because Pete Fairbanks is following the plan.
Well, I think of Yarborough when he was down there. I mean, that kind of changed the trajectory of his career. He started throwing more pitches, more strikes early. It's funny you mentioned that because I almost saw a immaculate inning by the standard you don't like on Friday in the Astros game. It was pretty wild. Yeah. I'm telling everyone around me, and they could not have given less.
They did not care.
They were like, huh?
That's because they know it's not the best kind. They were like, look, he already threw like 4 pitches. This inning sucks.
Yes. Well, we were just tired of watching Lance McCullers work full counts on everybody. So we were excited to get quick action.
It's such a shame. I think I've talked about Lance McCullers as one of the nicest human beings you could ever meet in your life. It's such a shame that he's had those arm injuries and hadn't been what he could have been. That's such a bummer. Him and his dad's awesome too. Like it's such a shame.
Yeah, he actually threw pretty well, but we were just ragging him because it's the same old Lance.
Sure.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna try to do a couple things while I'm down in Montgomery. If we go 2-0, we win those first 2. We will be doing some sort of live thing. We're gonna harass players. Go maybe wake up call Eddie and Efren. I don't know, something like that. We'll have some things going on for you, and then we'll get you some early morning content on Wednesday. I think we're just going to go down to the field and do some Instagram live. So be on the lookout for all of that. If you're going down there, excited to see you. Come find me. Won't give you my hotel room, but you'll probably find me at the lobby bar or an adjacent bar most evenings / mornings.
Sure. Mornings. Wow. All right.
Well, I mean, if we win and it's early, it's 11. That can be. There you go.
There you go. Hey, I've been awake.
Yeah, exactly. I've been awake since 6 and someone pulled the fire alarm. Oh, awesome.
All right. Sounds good. Well, Gary, you have a great time. I'm excited I'm looking forward to watching from afar. Have fun watching the early games and just have a blast, man. Make them win.
Absolutely. Hope we get some wins. Thank you all for listening and sharing our content all over the place. But yes, go Monarchs.
Go Monarchs.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do.
What's that?
Win the whole fucking